Hi guys, how are you all today morning? Good morning. Today is 1st July 2023. My name is T.S.V. Raghavan and I live in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. This is my spiritual vlog on YouTube. Haribol TRSV Nectar NECTAR Nectar. In this particular vlog and all my previous videos, we have been discussing about the knowledge and information that we have gleaned through the study of spiritual books, scriptures, contemplation on the material universe, and meditation on the spiritual universe. This particular video in the vlog is no exception to that rule. In fact, it is a mere continuation of what we have been doing in all my previous videos. Kindly subscribe to this vlog and press the bell icon so that I may keep reminding you of all my other videos. So let us continue with the topic for today in this particular video. At the risk of sounding repetitive, I would like to repeat a particular case history in this video which was actually recorded yesterday but had to be left incomplete because of technical faults. As I would like to record this case history completely, I have taken the risk of recording it again. I apologize for the inconvenience in this regard. However, I assure you that it will be quite enlightening and full of knowledge for the viewer. For the past few videos, we have been talking about the theory of karma in the life and case history of every human living entity. In that process, we know that this karma in the life of a human living entity can be divided into four parts. The first is called Sanchit Karma. This Sanchit Karma is the karma that belongs to all the unworked karma of a human living entity in his past few births as a human being. These unworked karmas from various births are pasted together and the block is left in the Sanchit karma which remains stored in the psyche and memory of the human living entity. The second is called Prarabdha karma. This Prarabdha karma is when a human being wants to get a new birth. He or she takes a slice from that already existing Sanchit karma to be worked out in a lifetime. This particular slice of already existing Sanchit karma meant to be worked out in a particular birth is known as prarabdha karma. The third is called kriyamana karma. God and destiny has provided every human living entity something which is called free will. Every human living entity has the right to work his or her way through a lifetime by working on his or her free will. This is besides the already existing prarabdha karma. That is, this human living entity has the right to increase his or her karma through free will in the category of kriyamana karma. Now, first there was prarabdha karma which made the living entity act in a particular manner, and then according to his or her free will, he acted in the category of kriyamana karma. At the end of the lifetime of that particular living entity, there could remain some unworked prarabdha karma and some unworked kriyamana karma. These two unworked parts are joined together to give them a term known as agami karma or future karma. These are again pasted together to the already existing sanchit karma of the human living entity, and this remains stored in the psyche of that living entity. In that case, when this person takes a birth in a next lifetime, the slice of prarabdha karma that he is going to take includes the unworked kriyamana karma of the past birth too. In other words, the next lifetime will be slightly different from what it was in the previous birth. How this is possible, we will try to find out in detail in this particular video. There is a village called Surakotai in the district of Tiruchirappalli or Trichy in the state of Tamil Nadu in India. This Surakotai is an agricultural village. One of the inhabitants of this village was a farmer who went by the name of Chinnaya. He was an adult during the British colonial period that India went through. Being a fiery young man, this Chinnaya, according to his own kriyamana karma or free will, became a freedom fighter. Probably he was a radical freedom fighter, as a result of which he had to go to prison every now and then. This guy, when he went once to the prison, he already had a wife and a toddler boy in his family. When he was in prison because of his own Kriyaman karma, this man had another son born to him in Surakotai, Trichy district, Tamil Nadu, India. This Chinnaya could not see the birth of this second boy. That was the prarabdha karma of the second boy. His father must not be present when he was born. This boy was christened Ganesan. As the father was a freedom fighter and the mother was very young, the family came to dire straits in the financial angle. They did not have much money, as a result of which this Ganesan, when he began growing up, had no formal education. Just because of necessity, this boy joined a local drama group, probably on the guidance of his own elder brother. This boy, just for food, joined a theater group which was a street theater group. This kid, right from the age of 8, began doing odd jobs and small roles in that theater group. This was all his prarabdha karma. Little would he, his family, his village, or the country itself know that this was actually meant to shape this boy into a living legend and an icon and one of the best actors this international theater has ever produced. Anyway, this boy's life was theater. Acting was the only profession that this boy could learn. He knew nothing else. He knew only how to emote and deliver dialogues at the rate of several pages at length expertly. So much so that this boy, when he reached 16, was quite noticed by the theater group and was given lead roles. This boy settled as a theater actor. This was all his prarabdha karma, that is, a part of the slice of karma that this boy had already brought with him when he was born. When this boy was around 20, his own mother took this boy to one of the top rising or well established film stars of the film industry in Tamil Nadu. His name was Tyagaraja Bhagavathar. This lady requested that Tyagaraja Bhagavathar that he should help her own son get roles in the Tamil film industry. Tyagaraja Bhagavathar laughed jeeringly. He told this woman in no uncertain terms, "Look, lady, Your son may be precious to you, but personally I feel that he has neither the looks nor the talent to get even a tiny role in the film industry. This particular dialogue from Tyagaraja Bhagavatar was a mistake. This boy's Kriyamana Karma woke up that very moment. Ganesan's mother was very hurt, and this boy, there and then, promised that he will prove this superstar Tyagaraja Bhagavatar wrong. Slowly, surely, and steadily, Ganesan rose up the ladder of the film industry. One of the roles that he did in his theater and also in the films was that of Chhatrapati Shivaji, the great freedom fighter, as a result of which he was noticed as Chhatrapati Shivaji. Later on, when another Ganesan entered the film industry and they had to differentiate between both Ganesans, this boy Ganesan was named as Chhatrapati Shivaji Ganesan, that is, in short, Shivaji Ganesan. Shivaji Ganesan's Prarabdha Karma was already existing, but now his Kriyamana Karma began growing fast. This boy got several good roles and he landed as a hero in a film called Parashakti in the year 1951 or 52. This Parashakti had its dialogues written by another creative genius called Karunanidhi, who would later become the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. This story established Shivaji Ganesan as a very good theater and screen actor. Now it was all dependent on time. Sky was the limit for Shivaji Ganesan. Within a few years, this guy attained iconic status as a theater and screen actor. He became famous in Trichy, Tamil Nadu, India, and later on internationally. So much so that he was given an award called the Chevalier Award by none other than the French government. This Shivaji Ganesan was one of the first superstars and actors in the Tamil film industry. The other one who was slightly senior was called M.G. Ramachandran or MGR, who had not yet become a superstar but would become so later. It is quite possible that both MGR and Shivaji Ganesan became superstars at almost the same time. Now the Kriyamana Karma was on full bloom for Shivaji Ganesan. he turned a distributor of films and later on started producing his own films. Shivaji Ganesan had a younger brother called Shanmuham. These two had an unspoken deal. Shivaji Ganesan earned money as an actor, and that money was invested prudently by Shanmuham in land, distribution of films, production of films, and other businesses at the same time. For this, Shivaji Ganesan sent his own younger brother to America to study business management. This boy, Shanmuham, turned out to be a very intelligent and talented business manager. The two brothers began making money in leaps and bounds. They acquired a lot of landed property, business shares and partnerships, distribution of films, and negatives of films as producers. This made the same Shivaji Ganesan who was forced to land into the theatre industry due to his hunger became so big an icon and a rich man that a street was named after him in Chennai, and his own locality called Bhog Road in Chennai was considered Shivaji Ganesan's manor. A statue was erected in his memory and is placed in a strategic place in the city of Chennai today. All this was because of his Kriyaman karma and not Prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma was there till he reached the age of 20 or 21. Then slowly Prarabdha karma took a back seat and the free will Kriyamana karma took over his psyche for future activities and achievements. As a result of which, he earned so much money and goodwill that in his next birth, this unworked Kriyamana karma would be already added to his Sanchit karma, and the next slice for the next birth may be colored by this unworked Kriyamana karma. As a result of which, this boy's next birth will certainly be materialistically far, far better than what it was in this particular birth. This is a lesson that I wanted to give to people who are viewing this video. I am not a teacher, but I have every right to narrate to you what happens to those who use their free will and kriyamana karma positively. Either they succeed materialistically or spiritually or both. We must all take a leaf out of the life story of Shivaji Ganesan and act accordingly so that we may improve our own karma, especially our kriyamana karma, so that in future, if we are forced to take birth as human living entity, this unworked kriyamana karma may come handy in selecting our own prarabdha karma from the already existing sanchit karma. This is a lesson that I wanted you viewers of this video to learn and understand. Our deeds must be extremely positive and either materialistically positive or preferably spiritually positive. If they become the latter because our free will in a particular birth, then we are likely to attain self realization, liberation from repeated births and deaths, and ultimate deliverance to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now I am going to make an oft repeated statement. Kindly remember that all great achievers, both materialistically and spiritually, were as common a people as we are today. They probably took this lesson from their own study and decided to make their Kriyamanas karma either materialistically or spiritually a success. That is how they became rich businessmen, industrialists, monks, rishis, maharishis, saints, godmen, and the like. We must also unabashedly emulate them to make our own life a success. This is one message that I wish to give to all of you. Kindly let me know what you think of my talk on this particular matter. Please give me your own expert opinions, thoughts, and ideas so that I may keep blending it to my rest videos for the sake of this society. It will enlighten and educate the complete humanity as I hope it will. Before concluding, let me remind you that I am also a published author with Amazon Kindle and paperback. I write on spiritualism, fiction, and assorted subjects. Spiritualism happens to be my favorite subject. Before we meet in my next video, it is good morning from TSV Raghavan.